Wow, this starts fast. Hello, everybody. So, Deep Night Detective. This is another demo. I'm running out of them soon, don't worry. But for now, you're going to have to kind of put up with it. I've had to do a few test recordings on this to mess around with audio settings. I think I've got it in a way that sounds good. Apologies if it doesn't, because this game's loud, but I don't want to overdrown the music because it's really good. Father Martin Hillgrove and I still get letters, usually around the same time of year. Oops. Wires all tangled. They stopped being intelligible or coherent at some point in the late aughts. Before they became a thick stew of expletives and promises, they were angry confessions. Funny enough. February 1997. Father Hillgrove walked into my office sweating through his clerical collar, putting a cassette tape on my desk and not saying a word for a whole 5 minutes. I shouldn't be doing this. The tape was a recording of Hank Boyd in a confessional. This is the last time, Father. The very last time. Boyd continued in shaky mutters. I'll stop. I'm done with it. I've just got to do this one last girl. Not a member of Hillgrove's congregation, but Martin was understandably concerned for her nonetheless. He should have gone directly to the cops. I could only get it to the right people and through the right channels so quickly. I wasn't able to keep Hillgrove a secret, and we didn't make it in time to save her. Nobody came out of that one happy. I refused the money. Hillgrove was excommunicated, and Boyd regrets, apparently very loudly, ever having trusted anyone in his whole life. So I've not had a lot of sleep. I'm kind of spastic today. I am not sure if I read that right, but basically a case came over his desk. A priest had recorded a confessional, handed it over to a private detective who mucked up a case. There's a guy that was a serial killer, he hurt a girl, and as a result, he didn't get paid, the priest got excommunicated, the girl died. It was a bad one. A rare, quiet day. Something about the summer heat makes people suspicious, I guess, because spooky private investigation pulls in great business this time of year. A cheating husband job came up totally dry, and the wife is suspicious enough to pay for another week's investigation. It would take a pretty big idiot to turn down an easy job, and an even bigger idiot to waste his time on it. So I sent Calloway to tail the guy. It's pretty far below his pay grade too, but oh well. I sent him not because I don't have time, but exactly because I do. He needs something to do, and I need to enjoy a summer's day for once. Besides, it's only a matter of time before the phone starts ringing again. That, or the other thing happens. I'm hoping it's the phone this time. The ever-looming idea that such a rude interruption could be right around the corner makes me want to get as much sunlight as I possibly can. I'm going for a walk. Look at me, I'm a cute little ghost man. Keep records of all my cases. I've been a detective a little longer than most. These aren't even all my files, I have some in storage. That's because you're a ghost. The mean streets of the city, less intimidating when you're already dead, I'll concede. Also, it's a gorgeous day, some sunlight. It's going to do me good. My desk. A bank lamp and an admittedly old-fashioned telephone. No computer, why bother? I do most of my work from my phone. Suze is a computer person around here. It's not let me inspect the lamp. Let me inspect the lamp! Oh well. Hey Susie, how's tricks? Slow day for once, no calls. How are you today, Mr. Spooky? You know what? Kind of relishing the quiet day. Is that so? Yes, in fact it is. I think I'm going to go out for a walk. Excuse me. Would you like me to bring you back some lunch? Yeah, a little strapped right now. I shouldn't be spending the money. That's my treat. Oh, pick me up a gyro and a small coke then. Will do. Be back in just a bit. Thanks, Mr. Spooky. Dentist's office. The walls are pretty good at keeping out the drill sounds. The screaming, not so much. Therapist's office? Or some guy with a PhD, I don't know. Advanced Services Technical Solutions. I think it's a call centre. Bathroom. Bonk. Some company that works with computers. I asked Susie about them. She doesn't know them. I go to her for computer stuff. I don't understand it at all. Another therapist. Great guy. Helped me out a lot after I died. I should check in with him. Oh. Uh-oh. No, not again, damn it. Splorp. Well, this is a pisser. I'm being summoned against my will. Let's at least hope that it's a paying client this time. Nanny? Oh, alright, okay. Hold on, can I... if I dry up... Nope, that's just the size of the screen. I just feel like I'm cut off there, but maybe I'm not. Hey, bud. Hey. Well, I assumed you were just summoned as usual. If you're going back, I am. Hang up your coat in the astral coat rack. You can retrieve them on the other side. Swell, thanks. Great, that's the idea. You can retrieve your clothes on the other side. Thanks, bud. Bye, friend. It's quiet. It seems to be some kind of dusty shack, like an old backyard shed but bigger, and without gardening supplies. Mr. Spooky, is it? Says Edward Mannheim. A raspy voice calls out from behind me. A butler, it appears. He must be the one that summoned me. I take one last contemplative, silent look around to make sure I'm not in any danger before I give the guy the time of day. The same. How can I help you? My name is Edward Mannheim. I'm a servant of the Winterfield Manor and of the owners, June and July Abernathy. I am afraid we need of private assistance. He says it in a practised, well-enunciated gribble. The voice is charred and gravelly, but well-spoken and easy to understand, like an expensive organ with rusty pipes. Do you have a phone? I need to call my secretary. But of course, the phone is in the main house. We can discuss the details of your potential employment inside. I like that. Potential employment. It means I'm allowed to decline, and that they plan to pay me. Good. Also means he's not one of the kids who thinks that the high price of my summoning in Old Book refers to the soul of something. Like they can pay me in magic money that comes from inside you. I'm already here. Might as well hear them out. Lead the way, Mannheim. Right this way, sir. Wait 1 second, Edward. Before we go inside, stop him from walking any further, he tells me that Mannheim is fine, in lieu of Edward. What's the general gist of what's going on here? I want to hear it from you first before I hear it from anyone else. Mannheim's face doesn't change, the butlers are never that expressive. We believe, Mr. Spooky, that the house may be haunted. Lots of houses are haunted, Mannheim. Most of them, in fact. Only house I know that's not haunted is mine, which is arguable, seeing as I live there. The police have traced several disappearances to Winterfield Manor. We would very much appreciate if you would investigate the manor before the police made a mess of things. July Abernathy believes the cause to be spectral in nature. That's his first guess. Pretty convenient explanation, right? Why is that what he jumps to? The Abernathy family has always had an interest in the supernatural. I believe you may have assisted the late Augustine Abernathy in 1984. I may have. Mr. Abernathy is curious to see if you can deny or confirm his suspicion regarding the strange nature of the household. I respond, perhaps somewhat short in my approach. Quick question, what if he's wrong? What if it's not ghosts making people disappear? I can't begin to speak on behalf on the subject, Mr. Spooky. If he deigns to return soon, you may speak to him about it then. This seems to be Mannheim's last word on the situation before he leaves and turns back towards the house. Are there ghosts here? Yes, obviously. I can feel them from out here. But are these same ghosts the answer to the Abernathy's problems? Let's hope so for their sake. I know for a fact you can still get this demo, so it'll be linked in the description. Deep Night Detective, Book 1, Sympathy for the Devil. Are you sure you can't tell me anything else regarding the case? I've given you all the relevant information I have, Mr. Spooky. How about some irrelevant... With respect, Mr. Spooky, you are a member of the private sector. I should hope you not insist I infringe upon my employer's privacy. Fine. So what you're giving me is essentially, the police told you people have disappeared here. That's not a lot to go on. You are also free to investigate the home within reasonable limitations. If you believe it's not enough to justify your time, I'll make do. Thanks anyway, Mannheim. I pray you do not take it too personally. No sweat. We are simpatico. I'll take a look around. Right this way, sir. Pardon me. I say to the woman blocking the entrance to the southwest wing. Hello there, Detective. Valerie Bordeaux. I'm afraid now might not be I'm afraid that now might not be the best moment. If you don't mind me saying, could you come back another time? Why is that? Is it being fumigated or something? Yes, I speak. No, well, no. I mean, no, it's not being fumigated, but you can't go in right now. June is unwell right now. The direct approach rarely works on wilting violet like this one unless you're willing to scare them off and upset the fragile ecosystem of a suspicious house. Valerie Bordeaux, you said. May I ask you what your relationship to the owner is? I'm a friend of June's. Abernathy. We've been close for some time now. My apologies, Valerie. I didn't realise that the Abernathys had company this evening. I'll try to be discreet. No, it's not a problem at all, Detective. May I ask you come by and continue your investigation later? I will return later then. That's the reaction I'm wondering about. She's ashamed of her relationship to June Abernathy, but is open about her closeness with her. This means she's likely a live-in house guest. Fascinating. Thank you for your time again, Miss Bordeaux. Mannheim didn't say anything about a sick wife. Bonk. Doggy. Hey, Butch. Oh, how you doing, buddy? July Abernathy's man of the house, apparently not around an awful lot. Hard worker? Have not met him as of time of writing. Lady of the house, somewhere apparently inside this house of writing. As of writing, shrouded in mystery. Mannheim the butler. Man who summoned me. A butler. Seems to be cold, unfeeling type, but I'm immediately put off. He's close to whatever's happened in a way I'm not comfortable with. His caller says Zulu. Seems to be a good boy. We'll need to continue my investigation to confirm. Yeah, buddy. So, yeah, there's loads of... loads of notes and stuff we can get for flavour and what have you. I'll do my best to remember to go for them. Hold on. Why now of all times? Do you ever get that feeling like, you know, a sneeze is coming on but it refuses to budge? I just happen to be... Oh, my nose is so burny. Oy, oy, oy. I hate hay fever season. Bonk. It took like 2 minutes to get it. I was like... I love this painting. That's so cool. I know it's pixely, but I would actually have that in my house. Well... Hey there, Mannheim. Mr. Spooky, I'm afraid you can't let you enter the northwest wing. He interrupts him as I attempt to scoot past him. Mr. Abernathy has restricted access by anyone but immediate family and the police. You don't say. I'm afraid that I do. And catch him twitching his eyebrows as says this, illustrating an uncharacteristic amount of expressiveness on his part. You did say something about restricted access. Fine. If it turns out to be too great an obstacle for my investigation, I'll need to charge you for time spent. Understood, Detective. Door doesn't go anywhere. Bother the developer about it. I have a case to get back to. Oh yeah, don't even think about worrying about the fucking fourth wall in this game. Smells like a graveyard, like freshly mowed grass, like asphalt and rubbing alcohol, like death somehow. Shwee. I can't help it. He's a good dog. Don't worry, bother the developer, yeah. I approach the butler, who seems to be guarding a wing of the manor. His eyes are narrowed and intense. I find myself immediately put off. Detective Spooky. I start off in a harsh, unyielding tone. I recognise the stare. I've been around the block a few times and not letting him make a single assumption about my work here. I've been hired by your employer to investigate the manor. Salazar, he says, his icy stare not shifting. I'm certain he's impressed with my poise, but doesn't want to appear overeager. Last name? Pereira. Gonna need you to step aside, Mr. Pereira. Sorry. I'm afraid my employers have not given me word to allow you passage, Detective. We have other locations that are of course, open for your investigation. I implore you explore them. I'm going to require unprohibited access to the manor to complete my investigation. I say it a little more relaxed now. I know the act isn't going to work on him. It's almost a relief. It's going to be quite impossible, Detective. He spits the words at me, like he's offended I'd ask. And then stands steadfast in front of the door. Damn. Until I can speak to the owner, what the butler says goes. Otherwise, owners find out I've been mistreating the staff and barging into restricted areas. Then I get fired and I'll just waste my time here. This case is actually kind of interesting. So you're taking the chance that the murder weapon's not behind you then? Not really worried about obstruction of justice, huh? You already determined it's murder, have you, Detective? Should have known better to use an unqualified hypothetical in front of a pedant. I'm getting old. I haven't determined that it's not, sounds better to me. Really could be anything, Mr. Pereira. When you have made a determination, I assure you I'll become more willing to assist you with your investigation. You get self in this, I can tell. Giving you time to personally prepare and cooperate with my criminal investigation sounds like something a professional would do, to be sure. I'll be back later then. He scoffs under his breath. His pissant reaction gives me a stronger sense of schadenfreude than my therapist would be happy with. Wonder if this guy ever gets a migraine pushing his brow down like that all day long. So there's only really one way to go. He's a good dog. Bonk. I say, young man. This here must have been one of the, one of the proprietors of this here fine establishment, I do say. Oh my god. Okay, look. I know how tough it is to hold a smile for a whole painting, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Do politicians ever try to not look like politicians, or do you just start looking like that when you sign up? Bonk. Bonk. Case note. General. All these ghosts. Of course there's ghosts. I've never seen one of these old manors that doesn't have ghosts. That's usual type. Harmless to practically everyone else in the world, in the whole world except for yours truly. Gotta stay on my toes. Bonk. Ow. Prick. Yeah, well, it can live. Well, in a manner of speaking. It does not need to be destroyed. I mean, it did say they're harmless to everyone but me. Aye. 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 Oh, getting one of those flames just fully heals me. Nice one. Actually feel a little bad for even attacking those guys. Hey bud, you good? Just a happy little dude in shoes there. Some kind of evil ostrich. No, not ostrich. What do you call them buggers? Flamingo? No. What do you call them? The birds with the tail. Peacock! Peacock! Oh, hello there. Maid greets me in the darkness. Hey there, could we hit the lights in here? It's about as bright as it gets in here. The plants need their heat lamps. The old wiring in here. Turn on one light, other goes off. Gotcha. Name's Detective Victor Spooky. Mind if I ask you a few questions, miss? Friday Froster. Pleasure. What can I help you with? Her voice is sweet and energetic. She's a little more open and forward than most maids. Her helpful, well-practiced tone reminds me of Susie back home. Nice to meet you, Friday. So, you're a maid here? I ask her, not immediately noticing my redundancy. She responds, Nah, I just wear the outfit for fun while I clean. Thankfully, the owners pay me for it. How long you been a maid here, Miss Foster? Her eyes drift sideways for a moment, come back, recalling time that she forgot to mark. It's been about 2 or 3 years now. Friday is fine. You must at least be mildly familiar with the house and its residents by now, right? Her eyes drift sideways for another moment. She then nods. Great. I have a few more questions for you. Bring Valerie Bordeaux. Would you mind telling me about Valerie Bordeaux, I believe it was? Her brow drops a little. Not enough to imply disagreeableness towards Valerie, but enough to imply a shaky situation. Oh, yeah, sure, I'll tell you whatever I can. What's the... I didn't even read that and I pressed it, sorry. So, Valerie, is she a relative, or... Friday averts her gaze from it as if she's as unsure as I am. No, she's not a relative, I don't think. I think she must just be a friend of June's. What's her relationship to July Abernathy? Never seen them in the same room together, I don't think. I'm not positive they have a relationship. In fact, I don't know for certain if he's aware she lives here. I mean, they tried to have breakfast and dinner together, June and July, but July's a really busy guy. I'm not sure he would have noticed. This catches my attention. So she does live here then? Oh yeah, definitely. She's always in the house. Often she's with June, sometimes she's not. She sleeps in one of the guest rooms. Confirmation. That makes things interesting. Valerie's easy enough to be just as much of a suspect as anyone else, ghosts included. Perfect, thanks for the info, Friday. Seems a little jumpy. Friday's eyes perk up a bit as I catch the falling end of my sentence. Yeah, she's kind of on edge. Neurotic, I guess. So this is, I hesitate to say the word normal for her then? She's jumpier than normal, I've noticed it. So is everyone else, including June, I think. Great, good to know, thank you. Let's talk about the owners. Would you mind telling me more about the owners? June and July? Certainly, what do you need to know? What are they like generally? As far as you're aware, at least. It's a telling gesture she makes, looking upward and reaching for a thought. I can only imagine that the owners don't cross her mind very often. At least, not as individuals she knows, but rather simply her absentee employers. I don't know, they're nice, I guess. Nothing wrong with them. They pay me on time. Unobtrusiveness, perhaps the most suspect behaviour of them all. The calm status quo in this house, that everyone's fine, with the same status quo that resulted in the disappearance of 2 people. Maybe more. Tell me about their health. I spoke to Valerie Bordeaux earlier. She offhandedly mentioned something about June Abernathy's health. Are you aware of any illness she may have contracted? She's careful about her words. She seems to rely on vocal affirmation before saying anything concrete. No, I've not heard anything, Detective, sorry. I wouldn't know if June is sick at all, but I hope she's not. I nod slowly. Mull over the idea that perhaps June is sick, but secretive about it. Alright, good to know. I'd like to ask about the other members of staff. Myself, Mannheim, Salazar, and Constance. Who are you asking about? I haven't met Constance yet. Another housekeeper. Her eyebrows raised, but her expression doesn't seem to brighten at all. She's either been waiting for or dreading talking about what she's about to talk about. Yes. Let's talk about her briefly. You don't seem thrilled to talk about her. Should I be worried? Well, she's choosing her words especially careful now. Constance is a little hard to work with sometimes. I would not be surprised to learn that she doesn't end up cooperating with you. Friday says this much quieter than she was before, as if she were speaking some grave insult that this Constance lady would be shocked to hear. If Friday's right, then Friday wouldn't be the first person Constance would hear criticism from. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Can you tell me more of her? Correct. Friday, slightest tinge of frustration. Lady already shaping up to be some kind of character. Yeah, she's another maid. We have rotating duties. I don't respond to that verbally. It's unhelpful and I'd like to move on to the next question. Opinions? What do you think of her personality? Starts and stops on an old motor. Tough question. I don't think she would be surprised if she heard me say I am not overly fond of her. I hate to talk behind people's backs, but this isn't exactly secret. Understood. I appreciate your candour. That'll be all for now, Friday. Thank you so much. She perks up and gives me a wink silently for returning to her cleaning. I don't know, I kind of want to go back and check if there was something on that other path. Whee! Well, I was expecting to fall a lot further than I did. Because I'm guessing there is a... Oh, I've got an uppercut. And a downer cut. Up there was another path I could go. Aye. The usual rooms have appeared. I'm not going to waste my time wondering whether they're a hallucination or not. Not this time. Let's see. Well, so that's some kind of save. I know for a fact, I'll be real with you, I have watched somebody play this game, and it was too interesting I couldn't stop. And I know I've got quite a bit left to go, so this is going to be split up into a few videos. I hope you enjoyed this for now. Good luck, take it easy.